Hello YouTube, this is Smoke Eater 83. Here I got a 1987 Dodge Ram D100 318. Fixing to change the starter cable and positive cable out on it. I've changed the starter not too long ago. Put a starter off of a 94 Dodge Dakota on it because most of you know the old Dodge starters turned over so slow that having a high torque mini starter off Dodge Dakota really does help out. So when I was putting on my starter, I noticed that the cables that go onto the starter itself were all cracked and dry rotted. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're starting to have some connectivity issues, and I've had some issues starting. So I've had to jiggle my wire and get it started. So anyway, off the internet I bought a new positive battery cable, and it's, a lot of people say you can save money by going to the parts store and just getting a generic positive battery cable, but I found it easier just to go ahead and order a OEM part because it's only $31.28 found on the internet. And for this 87 Dodge Ram, it shows that it's part number 4163002, and if you just Google it you can find it, but it says it fits the 87 and 86 Dodge Ram 3.7, which is the 239 cubic inch V6, 5.2, which is the 318, which we got here, stock 318 2 barrel, and the 5.9 360. As y'all know, in 87 Chevrolet and Ford went to EFI, but Dodge didn't do that till late 87 and 1988. So yeah, mine's in the early 87, so mine's still carbureted. But anyway, so with the factory cable, you get all the exact same connections. It buttons right back up. This is our bag here. Comes with our new cable. So it's got all the new connections. That should just button right up to where it needs to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get set up here. For this job, you need a 1/2 inch battery cable, or 1/2 inch wrench for the positive connector, 1/2 inch, and 5/16 on the starter. It might be a little easier for you to get to yours on it with a factory starter than this high torque, because it relocates the battery cable a little bit. Mine, I'm just going to use a 1/2 inch socket and swivel to get to it without taking off the starter again. It's just much easier just to go ahead and do it with it still mounted up to the vehicle. But you know, the old starters are big, so you might have to take your starter off to do it, but I don't think I have to on this one. But I'll get set up, be right back. All right, here's the bag that my new cable come in. There's a lot of places on the internet said that it was no longer made or no longer available. As you can see, this was made February 21st of this year, so they're still making them. However, it's not in the States, it's in Mexico, but that's no big deal. So you go ahead and take loose your battery cable here. I'm going to do that because once you go on the bottom side there, if you start making connection across those terminals, you'll be trying to start your truck without the ignition on. I don't want that. Go ahead and pop loose these cables here. Kind of hard to do it one-handed. There we go, it just pulls right out. And go ahead and go hands-free there. And then your other one, you can see is your positive cable here. Your other one is going to be going right through here. That's your relay. Now I have all the connections loose. I know which way it's routed here. Alright. Go ahead and pop it out from here. As we can see, there's these fold-over tabs that are on the firewall itself, so you can actually just move those with your finger. Whole line comes right out, and then there's just a few more right there. There we go. I might be able to reach those from the bottom side. You know what? I can get them from right here. There we go. Got those folded out of the way. Pull the cable right down. I'm good to go on the bottom side. And get them out off the, get the terminals loose right there on the starter itself. Zip tie popped on here whenever I did the starter before. There we go. Got that cut loose. All right. Kind of hard to see. And it'd be much easier to do this with the starter off, obviously, but I'm gonna try my best not to have to do that. Oh, got that on tight now. Okay, got the 5/16 off. Now for the half. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the camera off, but you can see exactly where it's at. I'm just gonna use a 1/2 inch socket with a swivel and a couple extensions to get that done. All right, so I ended up getting the bolt off actually without the swivel. I was able to just get a ratchet and socket right on top of it. So got them loose. Just I'm gonna pull the cable up off the terminus, and we should be good to go. As you can see, there's the cracking I was talking about. Where it's actually cracked, started causing me issues cranking. So we're loose and able just to pull it straight up and out of the truck. All right, we're back topside. Just gonna pull our cable straight up. Got top side, you can definitely see where it split, and that's definitely what was causing the issues there. All right, so we got our cable all loose and ready to start feeding our new one in. And as you see too, that this new cable and terminal's actually got rubber on it instead of plastic, so hopefully down the road it won't cause me any more issues. We're just gonna feed our new one through, just like what our old one was, straight down. Okay. All right, we're there. Looks like we've actually got a little bit of extra length on this one. We'll hook it up to the starter, and then we'll come back through and start buttoning it back up and tying it back into place. Right back we in on the bottom side here. When you're rerouting your new cable, you just want to make sure that you stay away from the transmission linkage. Make sure it doesn't get bound up in that. We still got to reroute it, but we're doing pretty good here. Got it right here. Already on the starter, ready to go. So we just go ahead and start putting on our bolts. We got our 5/16 here. See, this is a bolt that's already got the washer in it. I did have to actually drill out the smaller connection just a little bit. The reason why I had to do that is because this is a Dakota starter that I put on here, and I guess the terminal on it, I guess they went up a size, you know, over the years. This is actually, like I said, an 87 Dodge Ram, but I put this high torque mini starter on it. It's much more cost effective than buying one of the high dollar aftermarket ones. Just bought this at the local parts store. It's actually for a V6. But as you can see, it bolts right up to the 318. Alright, so I got my bolts on. I'm just going to go ahead and tighten those down. Be right back with you. Okay, got those buttoned up there. Got our cable running around. We made sure to stay away from all the linkages. There's two different linkages down there. Got the transmission linkage there, and got another linkage that is kind of obscured in the background there, but you can kind of see it. So got our cable run up through the firewall, underneath the brake booster, over the steering wheel column. Got our excess kind of down in the inner fender well there, and got it ran back up through here. So now we're ready just to button up all these clamps here. I don't know if I can do it on camera, but I'm going to attempt to button those up. I think I can get them down from the bottom side. See, these are the two linkages I was talking about for the transmission staying clear of. As you can tell, we're well out of range for those. You see, these are the clips that are on the firewall itself. Got the line here that's going to be keeping the line that cord or cable rather, well away from the manifolds. So we just fold these over back into place. It's going to lock our cable up against the firewall. It's going to keep our cable away from all of our linkages and the manifold. Okay, going back top side. Got those buttoned up. Again, under the brake booster, over the steering column. Got our excess in the fender well there. This is going to snap right back underneath here. This cable is going to go right back on the terminal here. There we go. Got it buttoned up there. I think I'd make these connections before I hook up the positive cable to the battery. Okay. Line these jewels up and just press it right in. Okay. So you can see right there it's well seated. Sorry, it's hard to do one-handed. I've always busted people's balls for on Facebook for having videos that kind of seem like they're all over the place. This is my first video, and I have a whole newfound respect of them rather. I will no longer do that, that's for sure. Okay. Cable's well seated. All right, we can make our positive connection. All right, got that well seated. Tighten that jewel up. All right. Here's my 1/2 inch ratchet wrench. We're plenty tight, so we got this connection made for sure. Got this one made. Got it back on the relay here. And as you can see, I've got it back underneath the clamp that holds it on there. Excess in the fender well, because it's just a little bit longer. Up around the steering column underneath the booster. Got both clamps there and got it seated. So we'll see if this baby will start. Well, that's that. Started right up. Sorry about that noise there. I actually left the plastic bag from the cable up there, and it kind of got down there and started rattling in the fan. But I've got it hooked up and As you can tell, everything's working in here. Turns over fast. Got a radio. Obviously, I killed the power to it, so I've got to adjust that back out. But she's running good. Started easy. And so I say that's a pretty successful job. If you would just sorry about being all over the place for the video, but I didn't see any videos out there about replacing the positive battery cable and or starter cable for the 80s model Dodge Rams. Hopefully they'll help somebody out there, and that part number I'll put it in the description just in case anybody needs it. And again, I just think that was way easier buying the OEM part for $31, because it just is a plug and play. I mean, it's a way to go. It really helped out as far as not having to piece stuff together, and you don't have to worry about electrical connections possibly giving you issues down the road or fires and all that fun stuff. So anyway, if you got any questions, feel free to ask me and comment below. Thank you very much.